My boyfriend treated me like furniture until my cat knocked his phone off the table. The screen cracked along with his ego. My boyfriend dragged me to his buddy Steve's Super Bowl party, even though I'd told him 3 times that I had a work presentation Monday morning and needed to prepare. He insisted I come because all the other guys were bringing their girlfriends, and he didn't want to look weird showing up alone. The moment we walked through Steve's door into a fog of buffalo wing sauce and beer fumes, my boyfriend spotted his crew huddled around the 85-inch TV and dropped my hand mid-step to claim his lucky spot on the sectional. I spent the first hour perched on a bar stool in the corner, nursing the same warm white claw, while watching him chest bump his friends over every first down, and completely forget I existed whenever someone mentioned fantasy football stats or betting odds. The next morning, while he slept off his hangover until 2 p.m., I drove to the animal shelter just to look because I'd always wanted a pet, and figured at least something in my apartment should acknowledge my existence. That's where I met him lounging in his cage like royalty, a massive Maine Coon with amber eyes who looked at me like I was the most fascinating thing he'd ever encountered. The volunteer said his name was Sebastian and warned me he was extremely particular about people, but the second she opened the cage door, he walked straight to me and headbutted my hand with executive decision energy. Within an hour, I was driving home with a 20-pound cat who sat in the passenger seat like a person and occasionally reached over to pat my arm with his enormous paw. When I walked into the apartment carrying Sebastian, my boyfriend glanced up from rewatching game highlights on his phone. "You got a cat?" he said, then immediately went back to his screen while Sebastian surveyed his new kingdom and apparently found my boyfriend beneath his notice. Sebastian integrated himself into my life as thoroughly as he could, greeting me at the door every evening with a soft trill and what felt like genuine interest in my day. He'd follow me to the kitchen and sit on the counter while I cooked, offering commentary through various chirps and meows that contained more engagement than my boyfriend had managed in months. When I worked on my laptop, Sebastian would settle beside me with one paw draped over my wrist, purring whenever I talked through my presentations. "At least someone appreciates my quarterly reports," I told him one evening, and he responded by touching his nose to mine before resuming his guardian position. My boyfriend noticed none of this because he was deep into March Madness rackets with money he swore wasn't our vacation fund, but definitely was our vacation fund. The territorial campaign began subtly with Sebastian claiming my boyfriend's gaming chair whenever he got up for beer, forcing him to physically lift all 20 pounds of uncooperative cat just to sit back down. Then came the food sabotage, where Sebastian would wait until my boyfriend set down his plate to check his phone, then drag entire chicken wings onto the floor while maintaining unblinking eye contact. My boyfriend tried establishing dominance by moving Sebastian's food bowl to the laundry room, but Sebastian retaliated by knocking every single one of my boyfriend's protein shakers off the kitchen counter in sequence, pausing between each crash to make sure my boyfriend was watching. "Your cat is psycho," my boyfriend said one night after Sebastian had somehow opened his gaming headset case and filled it with hairballs. "He's not psycho, he just has standards," I replied, watching Sebastian groom himself with the satisfaction of a mob boss who'd sent a clear message. The real power move came when my boyfriend found Sebastian had claimed his side of the bed completely, stretching diagonally across the entire mattress whenever he tried to get in. My boyfriend attempted to reclaim his territory by buying expensive salmon treats, but Sebastian would eat them, then immediately go curl up on my lap, purring so loudly it drowned out the TV while staring at my boyfriend with unmistakable victory in those amber eyes. Things reached critical mass during what my boyfriend suddenly announced would be our first romantic dinner in 8 months, which suspiciously coincided with Sebastian's growing dominance in the household hierarchy. He'd ordered expensive sushi and lit candles he'd forgotten we owned, but Sebastian positioned himself on the table between us, his magnificent tail sweeping right through my boyfriend's spicy tuna roll. "Why are you trying so hard all of a sudden?" I asked as my boyfriend attempted to salvage his wasabi-contaminated California roll. "Can't I just want to have dinner with my girlfriend without that thing trying to murder me?" he snapped, right as Sebastian knocked his phone off the table, the screen shattering against the tile with a crystalline crunch that made my boyfriend jump up swearing, while Sebastian began grooming himself with deep satisfaction. "That thing has a name, and Sebastian's given me more attention in 2 weeks than you have in 2 years," I said, scratching behind Sebastian's ears as he purred his approval. My boyfriend stood there holding his cracked phone while Sebastian slow blinked at him from the table, still purring that rumbling victory song. "You're seriously taking the cat's side?" my boyfriend asked, and I looked between them for a long moment, one who noticed when I cried and brought me wine corks versus one who couldn't remember my work schedule after 3 years together.